There were some people that were subpoenaed that Diddy hadn't spoken to in years, but after they were subpoenaed, he directly reached out to them.
Talk of Diddy threatening witnesses started long before the trial began, but now it's starting to feel alarmingly real. He's bringing chaos right into the courtroom, reportedly threatening a victim during their testimony, all in front of the judge. Even more disturbing, there are claims he may have silenced a third witness before they had the chance to testify. So what does this mean for his trial, and how much deeper is Diddy digging this hole? Court documents reveal that prosecutors believe Diddy is still attempting to tamper with witnesses even from behind bars. They argue he remains a serious threat despite his incarceration. When Diddy requested bail for a third time, prosecutors responded with evidence alleging he's been reaching out to potential witnesses and trying to sway public opinion in a way that could influence the jury. Legal experts following the case say these new claims raise the stakes.
The accusations within the prosecution's motion to deny bail are very serious and will be considered very heavily by the judge, because the judge is going to want to ensure that he is not influencing witnesses and or contacting anyone to influence the trial in any way.
The DA's office is taking things seriously. They claim to have recorded jail calls in which Diddy allegedly instructed family members to contact potential victims and witnesses, urging them to push certain narratives that could influence the jury. If proven true, these recordings could land.
Diddy's jail calls can be used at trial if they are able to support the prosecution's case in chief. They can also provide grounds for additional criminal charges to be filed against him.
So what's the real story behind the witness tampering allegations? Prosecutors say they've got solid evidence showing a pattern of intimidation and manipulation. One of the most shocking claims involves Diddy allegedly trying to bribe a hotel security guard to make a 2016 surveillance video disappear. The same footage that shows him physically assaulting his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in a Los Angeles hotel hallway. According to prosecutors, Diddy first offered a large sum of cash. Later, another security guard allegedly arranged a deal involving a brown paper bag stuffed with $1,000 in exchange for the tape. They even claim there was a signed agreement to keep the guard quiet about what happened. That surveillance video has since become a key piece of evidence, and prosecutors argue that Diddy's desperate attempts to cover it up show a clear willingness to obstruct justice. When the video finally leaked in 2024, it reportedly became the tipping point that led to his indictment. Another troubling accusation involves Diddy allegedly contacting witnesses who had been subpoenaed. During one court hearing, prosecutors outlined a timeline showing that as early as 2023, Diddy began reaching out to individuals shortly after they were served. The DA's office noted that he hadn't spoken to some of these people in years, but as soon as they received subpoenas, he suddenly appeared in their DMs.
And they also, the prosecutors gave like a timeline of other witnesses. They said as far as back as 2023, he had been reaching out to witnesses who had been subpoenaed, and they're able to track it, according to the prosecutors, allegedly, on a timeline where there were some people that were subpoenaed that Diddy hadn't spoken to in years, but after they were subpoenaed, he directly reached out to them.
According to federal investigators, in certain instances, Diddy communicated through intermediaries rather than using his own phones directly.
And sometimes it was through intermediate parties, like not directly from his phones. And he was actually telling people, like, I'm not supposed to be talking to you. Don't text me. So he knew what he was doing was not right.
The prosecution zeroed in on a specific incident involving a woman named Keena Harper, claiming Diddy contacted her 128 times. When questioned about these repeated communications, Diddy's legal team argued that Harper's lawyers had reached out about withdrawing a statement, and their response was simply to tell her she could do whatever she felt was best. They also claimed Harper was concerned about how she was being portrayed in the media, especially after Dawn Richards' civil lawsuit, which mentioned her multiple times. But the judge wasn't convinced, pressing Diddy's lawyers on why he personally needed to reach out if it was just a matter of legal correspondence. The question seemed to catch his defense off guard. Beyond the Harper situation, prosecutors painted a broader and far darker picture, a decade-long pattern in which they allege Diddy used abuse threats and manipulation to control women and those around him. According to prosecutors, Diddy used his wealth, fame, and power to intimidate victims, threatening careers, financial stability, and personal safety to keep people quiet. One of the most chilling claims involves Diddy allegedly recording the now infamous freak-offs, drug-fueled parties, and then using the footage as leverage. Prosecutors say these videos were souvenirs of the victims' most humiliating experiences, which Diddy allegedly used to blackmail them into silence. The legal consequences are severe. Diddy's September 2024 indictment includes charges of racketeering, conspiracy, trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation for the purposes of prostitution. The racketeering charge is especially serious, listing witness tampering alongside kidnapping, arson, bribery, and forced labor. Despite pleading not guilty to all charges, Diddy's legal team maintains that his relationships with the alleged victims were consensual and that prosecutors are twisting his actions to fit a criminal narrative. However, the witness tampering allegations have played a key role in keeping Diddy behind bars. Since his arrest in September 2024, he has been denied bail multiple times, with judges citing ongoing concerns about interference with the case. Even after offering a staggering $50 million bail package and agreeing to house arrest with an ankle monitor, the court refused. Legal experts are divided. Some argue that the denial of bail challenges the presumption of innocence. Attorney Alan Dershowitz, though not involved in the case, publicly stated that holding Diddy without bail could be unjustified if it's based more on assumptions than solid evidence of flight risk or danger. Still, the prosecution insists the threat is real. In one hearing, they presented evidence that Diddy allegedly contacted a subpoenaed witness, trying to convince them the events in question were entirely consensual. They claim to have recordings and messages, including one where Diddy reportedly said, "If you show support for me, you have nothing to worry about." The leaked Cassie Ventura video has been particularly damaging. During a bail hearing, Diddy's lawyers tried to downplay it as a toxic relationship between two flawed people, claiming both Diddy and Ventura had sought help. But the judge wasn't swayed, reportedly responding, "What does love have to do with it?" A sharp retort that suggested the court wasn't buying the defense's version of events. With mounting allegations and comparisons to other high-profile cases, like that of R. Kelly, public and legal scrutiny around Diddy continues to intensify. Gloria Allred, who represents some of Diddy's accusers, has drawn direct parallels to the R. Kelly case, emphasizing the seriousness of the witness intimidation claims.